Good time zones, everyone, and welcome to Thursday, in which we all wonder, good lord, is it still only Thursday? I hope that everybody is doing well and managing to survive okay. I'm exhausted. I'm just going to open with that. I'm exhausted. Today might be chaotic as a result. Yay! So, fully expect all sorts of mayhem, chaos, and things. Welcome in to Superfast Feg with ice cream and chilled beverages. Ooh. Frauke with the hot drinks and the fried snacks. Deep fried Mars bar. True Purple, welcome in. Oh, and thank you to everyone for getting here before the bots. Then we had the bots arrive. Welcome into all of you. Then the scurrying started, which is fantastic as always. Lurking from the pub. I mean, that sounds like a fantastic place to lurk. Jerry May, welcome in. Heil Hydrate. Thank you very much. Everyone, remember, hydrate, medcheck, stretch, food, noms, etc. Etc. Other stretch. Yep. Go with the hydrate. Thank you, Jerry May. Yeah, I'm apparently not quite with it. And, oh look! The bot seems to think that it's time for us to finish. Right, thank you for everybody for joining me. It's apparently time to end the stream. I never knew that it was quite that early. Well then. Kay, welcome in, Kay. Glam Pixie, good to see you. Raven, welcome in as well. Kelbirdie, Chaos Tween, welcome in. Good time zone. Squirrels and Chaos Gremlins, yes. Chaos Gremlin, you're innocent. Blast. 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 Ooh, I'm floating. I appear to be supported by my wings. Okay, I'm just going to ignore gravity for a minute. Blast is on a 515 stream streak. Apparently you've been running so fast that the Merry White House bot can't keep up with you. Bad Moon, welcome in. I don't know about early. You're certainly at the, you're certainly at the beginning of stream. Your mileage may vary. Your warranty is void. If you or anyone else has any faintest clue what's going on, congratulations. That feels like an appropriate quote as well. Then we've got adding foliage like beard hairs on a weak chin. Yep. And for some reason, Frauke got quote 200 somehow. Quote 98, I don't like where it is. No, oh my. Then the next quote is a duplicate. Okay. Just because I can't think of a straight line. Yeah, that's me. That's definitely me. What? Tight pants to the library. Pardon? What? Okay, some of these quotes, what? Yep. Doing deeper runs, that sounds wrong. It does. Winging it, yep. Puntax. Scots, how dare you be disappointed at your innocence through the Tootsies. Yep. Quote 100, you know, I think that might be it, except for that and that and that and that and Fnubbles. Welcome to the start stream. Hello! Also, when did I turn clouds back on the main account? Or did I never turn them off on the main account? I feel like I can't remember whether or not I turned on or off clouds. I mean, apparently I must have left them... They're on at the moment. Who knows whether or not they were off at some point. I mean, they're off on the cam account. See? No clouds. So, it's nice to know that I'm consistent. You don't remember. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody mark this moment. There is an event in this world that Raven can't remember. It's just like What? What? An event that Raven can't remember? I'm surprised. Hi, hi everybody. I'm surprised. It's funny. Usually I'm Scotsman. You and I both know that we've had this conversation in the past, Raven. You have a far better memory for pretty much anything that goes on in this world than I do. And I don't know how that happens. I assume it's purely because I'm making it up as I go along, and you're yeah, no, I don't know. Can we go back? I think you left his stomach back up there. Sorry, Cal. Hey, Miss Mist. Welcome in. Gotta go back. Back for Cal's stomach. Whoa, whoa, we left it somewhere up there. Alright, first things first, let's get rid of some trees. Partially because they're birch, and hey, who doesn't like Oh dear. Who doesn't like getting rid of some birch? You're looking down and suddenly the ground was approaching without even a warning. Whoopsie. Sorry. Probably should have yelled, Geronimo! Or, I can see the pub from here. Oh no, that's a different one. The agenda today is getting rid of the cowwood. No. I think today the current plot is to lose it. Primarily, we're going to lose the birchwood. No, we're going to lose the plot. What I am thinking is I'd like to actually get some concept of where we're going into the future. And for that, we do not need a DeLorean, but we do need some concept of where we're going to be placing stuff. Losing the plot seems like a plan. Yep. I have a plan. I have lost it. Wait, no. Sorry. Wrong one. Pardon? I care. Losing the plan sounds like a plot. Sounds like a plot for a bad movie. He's lost the plans. What plans? The plans to the Death Star. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to that one. Alright, I am going to carry on collecting the saplings. I don't know whether or not we're going to need to... well, at some point I may have to decide what we're going to plant by way of foliage on this island. There may need to be trees of some form. There are trees to grow, and all of the things, and some of the stuff that I don't know. And I think to myself, where the heck did these trees grow? Oh no. Hey, math girl, welcome in. Should have read that before I read that. Yes, exactly. I was thinking, sea trees are green. Well, these, if these trees are green, this white, this cowwood is a little bit disturbed. Interestingly, we have 2 beehives. Woohoo! 2 beehives, no Marge. Right. But yes, what I am thinking, which is usually a bad start, he's thinking, we're all doomed. You can panic in a minute. Apparently that's not good enough. Let's do that. I am thinking I would like to work out, as the stream title says, where to put an axolotl biodome type doohickey thingamawatsit. For the sole and simple purpose of it might make sense. It might also allow us to work out where we're going. He's thinking again. Save the brain cell. Save the world. Does that make the brain cell a cheerleader? A bing bongle dingle dangle diacity fnurbled. Yes. Apparently Bad Moon is attempting to translate the random weird noises that go on in my head sometimes. Smith, something from Doctor Who. Which century? There have been several. Good luck with that. There's no translating those noises at the best of times. Aha. David Tennant. Ooh. Huh. The David Tennant years. A wibbly wobbly timey wimey. It was a wibbly wobbly timey wimey blue box that went through the time zones, and we wondered how it got here today. Oh yeah. B. I'm going to steal the tree. At least it's not the sentence from when they first met the rhinoceroses, at which point I'm not sure anybody could actually repeat some of that sentence. And that's the one that ends with all sorts of gibberish. Hi, bee. Question. Do I move the beehives? Probably. I'm not sure beehives would exist in a lush cave biome. They don't tend... we don't tend to have cave bees. Sydney, welcome in. How are you doing? Right, so, allowing for the fact that we're not having cave bees. I mean, they might be Neanderthal cave bees. At which point, what? Could add an apiary somewhere, anywhere. As for a reason, yeah, that might work. Prehistoric bees. Yep. I'm sure Mama Melissa would be immediately trying to work out what the heck is going on with that one. Ask me in 45 minutes after your only day of the meeting is done, you'll be vibing. Woohoo! This is a very, very tall birch tree. Yeah. And we have a Hariyama. Did it bring the Haribo to go with the Hariyama? I don't know. Canadian dragon. Why was I going to say community dragon there? I'm not sure. I need a little bit more sanity. Or at least... yeah. I'm gonna need a good... Oops. Now, it wasn't meant as an oh my. On a scale from 1 slightly, 1 an 8 point how. That sounds like a quote from me. We're not there yet. I don't know. Oh, we're not quite there. Oh, Scotsman's brain's not there. wondering just where we're going. Oh no, the brain cell's gone. The brain cell's gone again. Hey, Dab. And if anyone had Bon Jovi on their bingo card for today, I'm terribly sorry. Brain cell must still be with Kel today. That's believable. Sure as heck isn't with me. You've got a base build. Not going to get very far. Look after yourself, Bad Moon. Look, Skyrim may have grabbed your attention. I mean, Skyrim tends to grab attention. It's one of those games that takes one look at attention and goes, mine! What am I using for fast leaf decay? Vanilla tweaks. I decided that it was about... I think when I went to 26.1 that it was probably about time to add fast leaf decay. So I've got the Vanilla Tweaks data pack for fast leaf decay. If in doubt, go with vanilla. It's nice and simple. Sometimes a nice little bit of vanilla is all you need. Read into that what you will. But yeah, the Vanilla Twix, Vanilla Twix. That's not a flavor that you usually get for Twix. Vanilla Tweaks. Suddenly you're thinking of ice cream. How did you end up with ice cream? Too much. A little bit of vanilla. A little bit of vanilla is what you need. A little bit of... What? I'm not sure I can turn that into a Mumbo number 5 joke. So, what I'm thinking is it might be nice to use this this piece of inlet as part of like the beginnings of the cave. I should probably sleep. Teeny tiny Scotsman in the distance having a nap. And maybe we can use this section of dip in the ground. A little bit of vanilla, your brain followed, especially with sprinkles, and then from there, ice cream. Now here we are. In dire need of ice cream, apparently. I do have one question. Okay, that answers that question. That's not bad. That's not bad. I can work with this. There are other bits of plotting that have been going on. Subterranean plotting. But that will require a plottery. Either that or a good plot hole. Yes, Scotsman has been plot holing. There's an awful lot of saplings coming out of this forest. Even my plot has holes. Yep. Everyone loves a good plot holing. My brain is fnurbled today. No. Look, just because I had to have two ibuprofen before I even started stream. On every day that ends in Y. Yes, usually it's WHY, however. Here we find Scotsman on a day ending in Y. Why? I'm forever moving forests, trying to figure them out. ooh, ah, ah. Removing forests. Tra la 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 ding dang. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Removing forests. Oh. Oh. Deforest it. Go, boss. I think we're nearly at the point where I've gotten rid of enough to consider what I'm doing. I need to remove that lot. And that should be enough. Here we find a Scotsman doing a large amount of deforestation. Makes a change. Usually he goes for defenestration. But sometimes you've got to branch out. It's a tremendous task. Wouldn't it be nice if this forest vanished very quickly every day? Okay. How are we doing? Let's have a look at this from on high. Here on high, we find a Scotsman using the cam account. It shouldn't be. That's about the one thing I didn't have to defnurble yesterday. Everything else I had to defnurble. Everything. Someone just tasked you with helping with a corporate ride audit. No. I am not going near an audit. I don't want to go with it. I don't want to go within 600 yards of an audit. I'm currently tasked with assisting in updating a CMDB. For those who don't know what a CMDB is, congratulations, you're safe. Basically, it's a large database of where everything is and what it all is. Problems with being the primary admin for a major corporate-wide software system. Yeah. No. I have absolutely no experience of that one. Can't think. Nope. Want nothing to do with that, you know. A database of databases. Effectively, it tells you where every system, every database, every piece of hardware, etc. As well as who's responsible for it, and thus whose fault is it? Ooh, dark chocolate pralines. Yep, I'll take that distraction. Woohoo! A dark chocolate distraction. Yummy! It's a yummy distraction. Ming, ming, ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming. Right. I think I just need to... Where am I in relation to... Yeah, okay. I just need to get rid of this band of trees. And... that hole in the world. Look, a tasty distraction. You've been told that before. I have several comments, and not one of them is family friendly. Hello, Elcorn. Welcome in. I hear zombies. I hear zombies deep underground. Deep underground. I hear zombies deep underground again. How are you doing, Elcorn? Have you managed to scare the pants out of soup yet today? Miyakula, welcome in. Just a drive-by before you drive back to the office from lunch. Thank you for joining us, even for a little bit of time. It is lovely, as always, to see you, Miyakula. No new jump scares. Elk, you disappoint me. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed in the Elkhorn. This is my disappointed face. Looks the same as every other face that I have inside of Minecraft, because I don't really have that many options. I heard that zombie and thought it was about to attack me. Hail Hydrate! But your camera isn't on. Uh-huh. Gotta spread them out or they'll be too common. And the jump scares too. And a stretch to go with that. Thank you, Sydney. No one expects the Elkhorn interruption. Oh no, not the Elkhorn interruption. Someone bring out the comfy chair. Two secret weapons. Nope. Can't remember enough of that one. Sounds like the beginning of a knock jock joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Elkhorn. Elkhorn. Wait. Ah! I'm behind you. I love the fact that it's birch, and then, as well as the birch, there's a couple of oak trees, and then it becomes dark oak. It's like, why is there a few... why are there oak on the borderline of the birch and the dark oak? It's a very different attitude than Rogue. Yep. Hold on. Old growth birch forest, dark forest, and there's no gatto in the middle. Okay. Why is the intersection between an old growth birch and a dark oak where there's some oak? That makes no sense. However, what does make sense... Sanity! Welcome in, Sanity! My cam account must have planted them. My cam account doesn't do anything, except for look disturbing. Welcome in, Raiders! I hope that you have had a fantastic stream, Sanity. Thank you for coming on over, and thank you for joining us. We've got a Sanity, and we've got an Elad. Welcome in to both of you. Welcome in to anyone else who came in with that. We have a Gimmighoul in chat, for those who might be interested in their Pokemon. Luna, welcome in, Luna. Oak trees grow in dark oak forests. Well, today I learned. Today, I'm getting rained on. Typical. Why? I didn't ask for rain. Oh well. How was your stream, Sanity? If you have a moment to let us know, do please. It would always be interesting. If you have to raid and run, do take care of yourself. Self-care is most important, and thou must. Does anyone ever ask for rain in Minecraft? I hear that I hear Fwip has been begging for it for the last 3 or 4 years and is expecting it somewhere in the next 4, due to a slight glitch in their world. It apparently never rains. Finishing up an abandoned mine shaft. Ooh. I think I might have seen pictures of that. Cardoodles, welcome in. Oh, Try not to crash into a wall, Scots. And the Gimmerghoul was caught by an Elkhorn who got a candy. Ooh, piece of candy. I have an inventory full of birch. Does anyone want it? How are you doing, Cardoodles? How are you doing, Luna? How is everybody doing? For those who I haven't asked already, how are they doing? For those I have asked already, how are you still doing? I've got a... I got a pocket of birch. I got a pocket of birch, and you'll never figure out why. Deforestation is what you need. They're not streaming now, so maybe on to see a bit. I mentioned somebody who was back to Minecraft. It was a bunny. Oh, cool. Doing not bad. That's good. Right. Let us have a ponder. It's time to ponder. Okay, we've got this nice... I was going to say this nice flat area. It looks flat from on high. When you're looking at it from the from ground level, it's anything but. Tired, so very, very tired. Tried getting some vitamin D today. Ended up getting burnt because you fell asleep in the chair while taking a break from gardening. Whoopsie. Oh, Risey Realm Hopper. Yes. Mr. Roo, welcome in. As well. Risey of the Realm Hoppers. Boy, he's a good person. Boing. Let's see. So, let's have a look. Day has been mixed. Phasmo this morning was fun. Day had a bit of a sour note when the dog decided to headbutt you. Ow, right in the mouth. Yikes. Oh. I'm going to assume there used to be a hole here. Day's been alright. Been sat in the library for 8 hours. Oof. I think I must have actually papered over a hole here. That kind of looks like where there used to be a cave. It's a black-clad wanderer. A black-clad wanderer. They call him the Wanderer. Yeah, the Wanderer. The black-clad wanderer. Yeah, that was a stretch. But, hey. Welcome in, black-clad. That does look like a Scots was here lid. I think it's less a lid and actually more of a complete cave infill. I've got a feeling that I've been feeling that I needed to fill in a hole. Yeah, that's a cap. That's not so much a cap as a complete cave fill. I have been removing the existence of some caves, whilst also at the same time adding in a new one. There is a reason for this cave. I will come back to that in the future. It is the beginning of a concept. The beginning of a concept that may be possibly a thing that might possibly maybe eventually become something. But until I've spent some time digging it out and maybe thinking whether or not it's a thing or a stuff, it's probably not going to be much. And if any of that made sense to you, you've been around here too long. Footy, welcome in. Right, let's cover up my anti-hole. If you could remember half of that, you'd quote it. I wouldn't. It's not worth it. Alternatively, you could go with whichever the recent quote was of, "Oh, smeg it, just clip it." Footy, thank you for those 15 bits for the boop. Boop. It's a boopity 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. And a Kiwi has just entered the chat as well. Welcome in, Kiwi. I'm going to take one layer off the bottom of this because it's a little bit close to the anti-hole. 617, that's the one. Okay. That should make that a little bit less likely to accidentally end up. Ooh, no, that's still only one block above the top of the hole. Let's make it 2. I know that the top of that hole is likely to end up also being decorated. I plan on digging it deeper. But for context, since I might as well, there's no point in teasing you. That's the beginning of a laboratory, that hole. It's just going to need quite a bit of digging. Me? I do a lot of things. Many. That hole is going to so that hole is going to be is going to contain a laboratory, but it needs a lot of space to be made safe. Roughly 16 by 5, 16, 32, 37 by 40 blocks. As I do a lot of things, dig them deeper. Aha! Right, yes. I'm digging very deep. 43 to 98 blocks. Something like that. Diggy diggy be a hoggle that won't be squirrel safe. No, that one's going to be squirrel safe. That one will be squirrel safe. It'll also be spawn proofed entirely. Once it's been dug out, the decoration is going to make it 100 and actually no, it's going to make it about 98% spawn proof. I need some areas to be spawnable. Yes, I'm actually going to deliberately leave some of that cave to be spawnable. No. Why, oh why have I left? Oh, right. I've forgotten to do the tough edging on this side of the wall. Whoopsie. You thought you lost your mule today. You fell into a very deep ravine that killed you, and you're 99% sure your mule was a goner. He survived magically. Woohoo! It's a magic mule! Hey, Mika. A magic mule sounds like it's, that sounds like it's an interesting concept. So, let's see. It has 15 hearts of life. You see, that's the advantage. Mules have more hearts than you. They just don't have armor, usually. Right. The bees, not the bees. No. Let's start thinking about this biodome. So, if I want to do a biodome, I don't think mules can wear armor. Exactly. That's part of the problem. It was Jebite when you brought your mule with the promise of capacity and armor wearing. Turns out mules can't wear armor. Nope. Good lord, that's a name. Tatsu! Tatsu, how are you? How are things? Haven't seen you for a while, you dangerous person. Ritsu, welcome in as well. The Void sees you and the Void has raided you and thinks you're cute. Oh my. Have some word softener. Look, If you can apply the word softener to the dictionaries that get thrown at me, I would very much appreciate it. Those things are heavy. Lotus, welcome in. And thank you for the lurk. Oh! Blackclad! Blackclad! Do-do-do-do-do. Blackclad do-do-do-do has managed to get us to the 100th squirrel in a scurry. Whee! That means we're back onto a donation option. Well, we'll start saving those up for the next thing. Oh, goodness. So you give credit to Lotus for that one. What if we threw a thesaurus instead of a dictionary? I think you would have a lot more to say about it, but it would all mean the same thing. It would help me pick my words better. And the phrase, let's see how this goes, is Ritsu is on a 125 stream streak, not quite the speed of a train. Intercity 125. Oh no, it is a Intercity 125s. Derp. And your 12th escape out of 19. That's pretty good going, Ritsu. Luna joining the scurry. Thank you, Luna. Mr. Roo pay through the pun tax. What is this? Ancients! My word. Thank you. Welcome in, Ancients. It's a busy day today. How are you doing, Ancients? Welcome in to everybody who's come in with all three of those raids. Goodness. I hope that you are all having fantastic days. Yeah. I didn't know raids were like buses. Get none for ages, and then you get three at once. Let's see. I'm going to... Is it Raid Scottsdale or something? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. So, I think... We're in trouble. He's thinking again. I don't want this biodome to be a circle. Actually, no, hold on. I'm going to figure out a shape later. Let's just work out a space. Did have a good stream. Died in a fortress. Oh no. Got most of your stuff back. Re-enchanted the rest. Also plan to build a hoglin farm for more food. Woohoo! Yay for hoglins. 4 wither skeleton skulls. Dang, that's a good haul. Last day home, cherish it before the weekend, have a packed weekend with work for festival, and every single weekend up till we get inside the festival arena mid-June, and we begin setting everything up. Good lord. You are definitely going to be busy there, Mika. Festival work can be exhausting. I hope it goes okay, though. Especially if you're as a volunteer. 4 wither skeleton skulls. How many wither skeletons? Some of those were words. How many wither skeletons did you murder today? You know what? I have... mods. No. Mods. Mini-HUD. Mini-HUD has shapes. Let me get a new shape. Select a shape from the drop-down. That would help. That would help. Sphere. What's the difference between sphere block-based and... Actually, no, let's just go with a circle. No idea, wasn't that many. Goodness. We have a Gorgeist in chat as a Pokemon. Do it every year, been doing it for 5 years. You're on the long hour team, which is 100 plus. End of festival, you've done roughly 250 hours work. Start here in the start of April. We're designing and building everything. This year's theme is Ocean Mermaid Fantasy. Interesting. Only up to 82 skellies today. Goodness. Comparatively to the 3,000 last season. You are lucky there, Ancients. Ocean Mermaid Fantasy, working on a festival with a very big theme and lots of build work. And giving the timeline. Huh. Cool. My brain has just sort of thought of a name of a festival and is like, okay. I don't think it's that one, but hey. Roskilde Festival, Northerners' biggest music festival. Okay, that sounds like it's going to be an awesome one this year then. Right, hold on. I was going to put in a sphere. I was going to put in a circle. Ah! my brain fell over. We regret to inform you, my brain fell over. Let's just do a circle. Add it. Configure it. Let's change the Axolotl biodome. I've just realised I don't have the renderers on. Alright, mini HUD. Come back here. Enabled on. Configure it. Set here. Let's give it a height of about that much. You hope. We designed and built the first boat gazebo 2 weeks ago. Last week was not there because of obvious reasons. Gee, I can't think what you were up to last weekend. Other than being awesome. Gonna design 9 more boat gazebos. Blimey. It's just so hard to work on someone's vision when you're not part of designing it. Yeah, I know that feeling. Just treat it like you're building a Minecraft event. Right. That's not big enough. If that's the top, if that's our axolotl enclosure, that's not big enough. So, I love the way that I'm like, yeah, let's make this bigger. And let's move that way, and that way a bit. And then that feels like it's about close to where I want it. Then you have the weekend festival here in mid-July for charity for muscular dysfunction and disability. That sounds like muscular dystrophy of some form. Either way, supporting charity, fantastic. Right. So. That's our midpoint. Boing, 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 dee boing, bee boing, boing, boingety boing, 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 boingety boing, 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 boingety boing, boing, dee boing, dee boingety boing, dee boing, dee boing, dee boing, dee boing, dee boing, boing. That sounds like muscular dystrophy. But there are a few degenerative diseases like that, so it could be one of several. None of which are nice. Okay. That... If we look at where those pillars are on the cam account... That feels reasonable. Turning that space into a covered-up dome with a lush cave underneath it. Ah, okay. That feels like that might be a good shape for an axolotl lush cave biodome. I did not deliberately place the beehives in the middle of it. That just happens to be the way that it is. We will definitely have to remove the beehives. The question becomes... how much... or what sort of shape do we want this to be inside? I'm going to take out this layer. Why is there a hole in the floor there? I did not dig that hole out. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, I should really plot. This is the one thing that it would be really, really useful to have, and that would be when placing these things. It would be nice if it left some sort of obvious marker where the midpoint was. It's about 1 block away from the beehive. That's the stone blocks. Really? I wasn't trying to place it centrally on the beehive, but hey, I'll take it. It's off by 1 from a beehive. I'm looking forward to it. There's just one minor problem. I have no idea what it's going to look like. OBO. Yes. Actually, that would make a nice entrance ramp. If that's the midpoint, we could have an archway here. There. Let's put that in. I'd like. Yep. If we have an archway here, we can have a ramp down here into this thing, and then we can have this. We'll probably have to dig this out a bit to lower it and just basically have it feel more cave-like by having... Yeah, that might work. That, I think I can... Yes. Have this amazing, huge old-growth tiger on the server you can play with, and you have a faint idea of how you want it, but you don't know how it's going to look at the end game. Want fancy crystal light vibes and an amazing big tower someone designed for you from a raffle. Can't wait to find a spot for it and build an entrance to your place. Nice! Ow. I missed the entrance that I was looking for. What was I coming back here for? Oh yes, materials. We are very, very used to translating each other around here. Translations are what happens. That's mossy stone brick stairs. Speak very good, Mika. Mostly because I derp a lot when I type. Particularly when I'm typing at high speed. And as a result, I'm used to trying to understand myself. Which is more than most people can manage, because most people take one look at me and go, how do you understand anything that you say? Typos are, aka as gingerish. It's commonplace language. Yep. We are the masters of the tie-up. Here we are, masters of the tie-up translation. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put a... No, I'm going to move that one to the right. Just a step to the right. And a jump to the left. And we wonder why. Scotsman's singing things again. It's the randomness that makes you really wonder why. Scotsman has got no brain today. You're right. Oops. And here. And fat-fingered syndrome. Yep. Temporarily place you there. Grab a couple of half slabs. You'll do. That'll be enough. Probably more than I needed. Seems to me you're contracting the symptoms of the Typo 9 virus. Typo 19 virus. Regrettably, it's an incurable disease, and you request you practice internet hygiene to prevent the disease from further spreading. Yep. No, I did not want that there. Go away. I wanted that there. You and you. Wow. Still missing. Ow. Okay, that's our entrance. That's our entrance to the cave. What I might do is say now here comes the question. And it's an ultimately it's a very important question. I'm having a thunk. I'm having a thunk here. Do we have the space? Yes. The lab ends just before the entrance to this. So if I've got the lab here, and this is the entrance to the cave. Hunter, welcome in. Thank you for 31 months of subscription. Goodness, welcome in, Hunter. I hope you're doing okay. I do have a camera account, Mika, yes. I made the decision quite a while back that sometimes it is very useful to be in two places at once. So I run 2 copies of Minecraft whilst I'm thinking. And building. Free cam. I like free cam as well. Scotsman and Scotsman 3 AM thoughts. I try not to think about those in public. Sometimes it's useful to have the cam account on Overwatch while I'm plotting. And we have a Luxio in chat for those who might be interested in catching one of those. Okay, I'm thinking... I know I keep using that word. Try not to be too upset. It might be nice to have... effectively a 30-kilo cat. No, I'm not thinking about a 30-kilo cat. That might be a bit much. Oh, hold on. I'm going to leave a little... Luxio's the 30-kilo cat. Ah, right. I'm thinking it might be nice to have a land bridge over the cave. and just have this go down into... imagine Luxio jumping on your lap when you're sitting in a chair. The chair would collapse, and so would you. Hi, Landstrad. Welcome in. So, yes. Let's think. Uh-oh, it's getting dark again. That happens. I don't know if you've thought about this yesterday. Took Doggo to the vet 2 days ago. She weighed 35.4 kilos. Yep, that's her. Ash picks them up. They weigh the same as a feather. Strongest 10-year-old in existence. More to the point, the longest living 10-year-old. As 10-year-old goes, I'm fairly sure that Ash has been a 10-year-old for about 3 decades. What type of dog? A chonkus. Chihuahua, I would suggest you stop feeding it. Yeah. If your Chihuahua weighs that much, you may have issues. Ash is a vampire, rare strain of vampirism that affords him UV resistance on par with being human. So basically, Ash is related to Blade. Or at least of the same genotype. Cat's a chunker. Still carry him up the stairs like you did when he was a kitten. Yeah. Or the sparkly one. Okay, let's not dig further down at this point. Stray when you got her. I think she's a mix between German Shepherd and Foucault Ridgeback. Don't know that breed in the slightest. Blade is not a vampire, he is a dampire. Okay. Yeah. Chunky doggy. No, correcting me is often a thing of the universe. A thing of the universe. Yep, some of that's right. Vietnamese breed, specifically limited to an island. Okay. Uh, 100% get the ooh, it's so cute, and it's begging for food. How can you tell the difference between a vampire and a dampire? The dampire is slightly... oh, slightly moist. Use of the M word. Use of the M word. Actually, speaking of that... no, that's services, that's platforms. Speaking of the pun tax, I'm going to regret this one. Oh. But I'll ask it after the dance part. Castles in the sky as we float on timeless satellites. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. Two emotes. Virtual is where we live, live, live. Right, come back in. There's the surface. Where is that? Oh, excellent. That's where I was hoping it would be. Far enough across for this to actually be reasonable. Okay. There's your dance party. I know we like that song for a dance party. Oh, hey, that lines up with that section of landscaping that was already here. That works. Okay. I was in the middle of a train of thought before the dance party started, which is not the worst of things. Loads of dance emotes. Always good to have so many dance emotes. So, I was in the middle of a train of thought just as that dance party started, typically. And now back to the discussion of pun tags. Yes. I have done a thing with relation to pun tags, but I might need somebody to do a quick test. If you, if one of our seasoned punners would care to have a look under the Channel Point Redeems area, yep, no, that looks terrible. Okay, I'm going to disable that again. So we get the message for the redeemed bit, and then we get the announcement. That feels like it might be too much. Okay. Out of curiosity, for those who aren't admins or moderators, do you see the bit a message in stream about the redemption of that, and then the actual more of a repeat? But do read the puns out. It was sort of logging them. Yeah, it's too much doubles. Okay. That's a shame. What's the longest word in the dictionary? Smiles, because there's a mile between the two S's. That also cut off the second half. Oh, why did it actually break that into two as well? Pun tax has been paid. This may cause some punishment. Why would I suffer punitive damage? The pun tax has been paid. Yeah. Okay, I need to fnurble with that a bit more. Thank you for the testing. For one, I don't know why it triggered that as twice. Oh, sorry, why it split them into two in one case. Yeah, that okay. I need to go back to the drawing board on that one. Thank you for your assistance. Testing is entirely necessary in these things. What we have done is discovered that it's crap. The problem is, unlike highlight my message, I have to interact with it. And then return it. All of that testing for pun taxes is very taxing on the brain. Yep. Doesn't help me either. My friend was a baker in the army. He went into battle buns glazing. Oh dear. Yeah, you see, redeeming highlight my message does it all in a single action without any duplication. I wonder if I can figure out how to tie into that in a way that actually makes more sense. Somebody's giving blast ideas again. Can I rename the highlight? I could. I wasn't trying to record the puns, no. I was, however, planning on recording how many times somebody has redeemed the pun tax. You know, Firebot can. You see, the problem is we mostly use highlight for pun tax. Yeah. Problem is, Blackclad, the highlight is then also in addition to the automated message from Twitch saying that somebody has redeemed an item. So it's that mix of the two bits that's the problem. That's why we're getting the effective doubling up. So Firebot would probably do almost exactly the same. Probably. I don't know. I do not know Firebot very well. I would have to tinker with it. However, we have a Pokemon in chat for those who may be interested in it. Since the pun is the initial redeem, can Mary just say thanks for the pun? That might actually be reasonable, Kay. I wasn't sure whether or not we'd actually get the whether or not we would get doubling up. This is the first. Today is the first attempt at this. I kind of did it about 2 days ago, and then I had to spend yesterday taking apart my entire Stream Deck automation because things went wrong at the end of stream. Tax-related puns for Mary Whitehouse bot to respond with. Not sure we want Mary Whitehouse to start actually giving you puns back. So, while we've been doing all of this, I have been diligently progressing this. And what I am thinking is we will have the entrance. We will have this lovely cave that we can make deeper. This cave will have effectively a custom-built hole in the world leading down to it that will also, and all of it will be enclosed within the dome. So that might actually give us exactly what we're looking for. And then I can do some landscaping on the top and possibly just leave the bees where they are. And have them part of the surface section of the biodome. I mean, it's a lush cave. Having lush area on the top. Yeah, that probably will be the sort of concept there, Blacklad, I agree. Mary Whitehouse bot, tell me a pun. No. For that, I will just redirect you in the direction of Elkhorn's stream. Elkhorn will happily tell you the puns. Yeah, who in their right mind taught Siri how to tell jokes? Nah, me neither. I don't use any of the voice recognition bots at this time. I have not had a good reason. I can see that they have a fantastic use case for people who might need the ability to interact with things without actually having to manually interact with them. Apparently we have puns in the quote board. And that's exactly the element there. Raven. Accessibility. Use of it whilst driving classes as accessibility in my case. Or in some of my case studies, mentally. Thank Taran for that. I thank Taran for a great many things. Mostly for being Taran. Bring back some dirt and carry on, sorting out this. Keep seeing the posts. Tell me you work in technology without telling me you work in technology. Commenter. How much do I have to pay for a dumb yes? The worst one was the engineer recently who found their fridge displaying advertising that they had never asked for, or been informed was going to be displayed on their fridge, and they were now basically thinking of that things had gotten too far. So he gets all offended when you ask or tell them something mean or non-family friendly. Yeah. Kel, take care of yourself. Look after yourself. Thank you for joining us. Worked on the development side of one of these assistants, so you're just biting your tongue. As I say, the assistants themselves can be fantastic. It's what you do with them at a corporate level that can be too much. And that's the bit I have issues with. It's the overreach. If you ever figure that one out, Shadow Sky, let me know. Points Scots to the missed pun tax. I missed one? Whoopsie. What do martial artists like to drink? Karate. Oh. See you tomorrow for idiotic shenaniganery. Shenaniganery! It's also such a steep learning curve for any kind of voice-activated response system to understand language and accents. At which point my brain just goes to the Scottish elevator sketch. Humanity, for what it's worth, is generally lazy. Yes. 11! Exactly. Probably the only one who still uses a dumb phone. Dumb phones can be useful. That's your walking sound in Misty's. Nice. Okay, this is feeling a lot better. Icebreaker phones. Find buttons easier to use than a touchscreen with your wonky hands and fingers. That, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I have issues. One of the other things I have issues with, which is the tendency for people to put touchscreens where there damn well shouldn't be touchscreens. For example, nobody in their right mind should be putting a touchscreen into a car. I'm sorry, but that's just begging for somebody to have to take their hands off the wheel and take their mind off the road to figure out where the button is, because there's no tactile feedback. This rant brought to you by somebody who doesn't drive and still understands the need for tactile feedback. Should also have headphone jacks in phones still. Certainly touching a touchscreen on the fridge with raw chicken fingers. Yes. Make a joke about fingers here, but it will resist the digital pun. Yep, mobiles, phones, cars need the tactile feedback. Exactly. That's what I mean by stop putting a touchscreen where you dang well shouldn't have one. I can't see the top of this circle. Apparently I need to make this circle taller. I don't know why it was going to 14. Who cares? Pun tax. Woohoo! Is that joke counting its days? Okay, I'm going to put this in as a circle for the moment. But what I'm also going to say is this circle may not be the final one, on the grounds that my next action will be to use plots to plan out where the actual circle is and turn that into the dome, because I far prefer plots for domes, for spheres. Yeah, basic shape planning, good. Actual shape, I don't like mini HUD circles. I far prefer plots is Everyone likes a little tactile feedback. Oh my. Only things in a car that should have a touchscreen are your mobile phones, tablets, and professional laptop, which you should not be actively using whilst driving. Exactly. Oh, and we have a hydrate and a stretch from Feg. Unlurks from the pub. Slash. We have a well-lubricated Feg. Heil hydrate. Never mind the state of my lubrication. Oh my! And a stretch to go with the hydrate. Thank you, Feg. Hides from the mods. Oh my. You need an eyebrow wag emote. Basically, we need a variation of the shocked squirrel, but with wagging eyebrows. That too. Yeah. Well, that's not been added yet. That's just, there we go. Now it's been added. And for some reason, Nevermind the State of My Lubrication feels like it's a follow-on album from to Nevermind the Buzzcocks. I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling mods and that dratted dog. Yep. Yeah, as in the Sex Pistols album. It's their lesser-known follow-on album. Never mind the lubrication. Oh yeah, they actually did a sequel album, didn't they? Oh yeah, never mind the Buzzcocks was the TV show. I'm getting my genres and elements overlapped again, aren't I? We have a Scyther in chat. Oh look, it's a distraction. Woohoo! Take out these and a few more of these. This is starting to feel like the beginnings of a cave. Let's see if I've got a Scyther. Yeah, I've probably got one of those already. Oop. Let's take out one more row. At the moment, this is... Despite the fact that we're doing quite a lot of landscaping already for this, this is still very much just plotting. I don't actually want to dig out the whole cave yet. Also, I can probably turn off mini HUD in a minute. Actually, let's turn off mini HUD. Turn off mini HUD for a moment. I don't need to see all those zeros. Scheming on plotting, or just a bit of both, Feg. A bit of both. Everyone likes a good bit of scheming. Not getting full British Empire on it. No, not yet. That's a different area. Be careful of plot holes. Yep. I'm more worried about suddenly discovering a massive cave underneath this. I don't think there was one, but I'd rather not find one. Beware the eyes of Fnurbles. Exactly. A cave in your plot. Whatever should we call that? Typical Minecraft world gen. Only if there's a ship embedded halfway up it. I'm not looking for the Ark of the Covenant, or the Ark, let alone anything else down here. Fun fact, did you know the reason why there are pyramids in Egypt is because they were too big to transport back to England? Oh, sun's setting. We did, however, steal a couple of the acorn of the Covenant. Wow. The acorn of the Covenant. That sounds that sounds still melts your eyes. Wow. I was about to say something. I'm going to anyway. No, that's the fart of the Covenant. That melts your eyes. I've run out of inventory space. Whoopsie. If it were possible, the British Museum would have tried. I mean, we stole a couple of the giant obelisks. Gun must be part magnesium. Feels like what? Wait, what? Gun must be part magnesium. Feels like I'm outputting an extra half a volt. Keep an eye on me. I'm going to do some scheming here. Gurbs. Wow. He's digging in the wrong place. Exactly. That would have been an excellent artifact name. The Fart of the Covenant. I think Luna would have overridden that one. I'm surprised we got away with the Shuka Shuka relic. Oh dear. GLaDOS and the Portal games. Some distinctly disturbing elements in those. There was talk of scheming earlier. Yes, I am. More relics than you can shook at a stick at. Exactly. Like, add it to the loot table on Black on yeah, we could add it to the loot table. Okay. That's feeling pretty good. Hence the quote. Yep. If we make this have, say, a 1 or 2 block high, a 1 block high stone wall around all of it, and then a glass dome over the top of it. And then we excavate and turn this into a nice lush cave. We can have this water come in through the side of the cave. Let me just do a quick double check to make sure we're not going to actually accidentally dig down into anything. Nope, looks like we're safe. We can then sort of extend down further under here and have almost a spiral cave. Because we've got the entrance over here that comes down. Yeah, this could really work quite nicely. Last night I tried to read the dictionary in bed. I didn't finish it. I got up to pee. Oh. Oh. Boo. Throws a bookshelf at Blast. Yeah. That one was terrible. I mean, that's on a par with "Can I have a pee, please, Bob?" Throws frozen peas at Blast. Wow. Looks like Blast has been frozen out for that pun. Ooh, andesite. Right, you're off. Take care of... Good night, Blast. Take care of yourself. Because if you don't, we will. And we take care of you. We take care of you. Usually with a larger supply of arrows. Enjoy your bedtime reading. Part of this is just excavating another layer to get a load of stone. Part of this is just excavating another layer, just because I'd like to get a bit more of an idea of where I'm going with this. Where's he going? Straight to the middle of the earth. May have to have a think about what texture I want this lush cave to have, because I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to have to remove all the fnurbling granite I've just found. I leave these 2 pieces of dirt here. Probably because it was just 2 pieces of dirt. Clay. Clay. I'm going to need a lot of clay, aren't I? Tag Fnurblet. That's going to be a problem. I don't think I have a decent supply of clay. I do, however, have a decent supply of mud. I'm fairly sure I've got about a chest full of it back at IKEA. And that can be turned into clay through the judicious use of pointed dripstone. Don't I have a muddy brick maker somewhere? I have a mud maker, yes. Wouldn't tearing apart an actual lush cave be better? Probably. How dare you be logical? Apparently Raven and Feg are both thinking similarly. Also, under the heading of Find an Actual Lush Cave. Found one! Complete with an axolotl in it. Found one! This is part of the reason why the concept of putting a lush cave and axolotls in came up. Moscow Hosco, welcome in. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the mayhem, the chaos, the madness, and all that goes along with it. Also known as a Scotsman stream. It's a more score house cow. Yeah. Happy Thursday. I am not a furry. Tax the man. Damn the man. Save the empire. Oh no, that's a different one. I better be careful. I'm going to dig into the ocean here if I'm not careful. So I can't have too much of an overhang here because otherwise... Oh, actually, no. I've got quite a way before I hit the ocean. But it's Rex Manning Day. Damn the man. Save the empire. I am 12 squirrels. Yes. Therefore, I am not a furry. I have that on the computer. I have the DVD of it and probably still have VH. Actually, no, I don't have VHSs anymore. But I do have the DVD of it. And as a result of having the DVD of it, I have definitely converted it onto the server. It's... The music in that film is so good. It is one of my feel-good films. Laserdisc and Video 8. I have never owned either of those, Fig. Okay, that gives me... Same, so many VHS and DVD in your attic to support your NAS player madness. Yes, that is definitely a case. I keep the DVDs up in the loft just to act as physical proof that I have ownership of the things that I have on the server. And we have a Frillish in chat, which is a type water, therefore it is a weekly type. And thank you to the Information Frauke service, the Frauke Information Service, for that information about the weekly types. This is why I was digging out all of that. Stone. Only thing you remember about Laserdisc was that your friend's dad got a player and played one Laserdisc Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Good lord. The film that nearly broke Bob Hoskins. not as badly as the Super Mario Brothers film. How on earth did he end up getting... Yeah, you wonder who on earth was looking after his contracts when he got put into that Super Mario Brothers film. Because that's one of those... why? Why did you take this film? The script for that film was abysmal. You liked that movie. The Super Mario Brothers film. There was a controversial scene in Roger Rabbit that was only in the Laserdisc. Oh my. I mean, somebody must have liked it. You're amazingly capable of just shutting your brain off. I'm not going to argue with that one. I do that a lot myself. Just, I couldn't with that film. There we are. Chicken! Okay. This is starting to feel more like a concept. Modern one or the old one? Yeah, I had a feeling it was the old one we were talking about. I'm liking the way that this is coming together as a concept. What I will probably do is, I think I will probably take out some of this hillside and then fill in this area with tree life and foliage so that it separates the two. Hold on. Wrong account. I will probably lower this hillside, then put in a load of trees around here just to separate off the two buildings. And then we can have the dome over the top of this area. And I'm going to have... I think I'm going to put copper gratings across the water's edge here, so that it actually looks like it's sealed off, but still allowing water back and forth. So it feels more like a water grate. I mean, yeah, seems sensible. But that's quite a nice area for... that feels like a nice area for Lush Cave to be built into. And it's about the same size, if we look at it. Yeah, it's about the same size as the... the sniffer pen. So that actually means that we've got some reasonable consistency of... We will build pens about this big. That actually feels like it's a nice way of thinking. That also means that there's the possibility of putting something over the top of the tunnel or over the top of the this cave area. That wouldn't be a terrible thing. Lanilek, welcome in. How are you doing? Plus, that also means we've got room for, say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pen zones, roughly. Just about getting the feeling back in your brain after Build for Better. Yeah. Good luck with that one. This huge beach zone. If we were to put... putting a dome over it, maybe some parrots. That might be an option. my train of thought here for the... Oh, that might work. This area... we could turn this into... so I know we had the desert husk camel as a suggestion for one of the animals to bring back into this area. Because there's a lot of sand in this area, that could be where we put the desert the husk camel. That lava pit's got to go, obviously. So we've got the husk camel, we've got the axolotl, an ice biome with polar bears would be nice. If we're going to do anything with polar bears, that's probably going to be more towards the Frozen Archive, I think. I don't think they feel like ancient creatures. Or fenced in like a proper landmark. That's also another possibility. Because we're going for things that feel ancient. So, the husk camels, the sniffers, the skeletal horses, the zombie horses I'd like to get in. I'm ignoring Superfast Feg for the whole Warden element. Heil Hydrate. Hey, Urban! Creaking in the dark forest. That might be a thing. And a stretch to go with the hydrates. Stretch. There is already an... So, I'm going to explain what the heck I was teasing with earlier. This is going to be a research lab. And this is going to be where I have 10 resin farm elements. So this is going to be a lab with creaking in it. Which is why I need to dig out such a large cave. But what it's going to be is... You remember all those films that you see where you've got a research lab where it's like a huge warehouse and then a glass enclosed room in the middle that's where the research lab is? That's the concept I'm going to go for this. And it's going to have the glass... one glass area around this, which is going to be where the resin farm is, and there'll be another section towards the front, which is where the creaking will be allowed to spawn so that I can hit them. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 flashback. I never saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Wither Skellies could be ancient too. Pandas would be nice, but I don't know where I would... and I might actually already have acquired a couple of pandas, but I don't know if we're going to keep them here. Ow. Well, that's useful. Get out of the water, Scots. Wither Skellies could be ancient too. Yeah, but how I'm going to get a Wither Skelly back here safely, I don't know. We do have a brown panda. I need to eat. Fairly certain bamboo is older than trees. Hello, Bamboo Farm. At which point, that might be a good reason for getting the pandas in. Also, this is the 3x5... Sorry, 3x4 area of our current map world. Including... Somewhere over here is the Frozen Archive. Down here we've got Goldenstein. We've got the Temple of Irony down there. Caldera, Ikea, Lagville, Sanity's Grotto. We are currently here. There's a pair of pillager outposts there. So, yeah. This is the size of the current world border. Ignore those ones. They are non-existent. They're... Actually, I think I trimmed those, so they're probably gone. Hi, guys. Brown Panda is the curator. That's an interesting thought. Are you a cranky old one? No, you. I don't know the panda types. Also, is it me or do the number of turtles seems to be multiplying? I don't know why or how. Also, how big was this? 26 radius. 26? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That actually could very easily be 26. Also, as for parrots, hold on. I don't think we've actually got a decent-sized jungle other than the one by the caldera. Where's the map? Cow. Mushroom. Mushroom. Yeah. So that... Oh no, hold on. That's all jungle. Because there's a jungle temple here. And I think there's another one around here somewhere. So actually, there's quite a bit of jungle. Or was that... No, that's the jungle temple. It was near the caldera. And I think... Yeah, I think that area is jungle and possibly some of this. That might be oak forest. It's a shame how that it's not very easy to actually tell biomes on a map like this. Also, it's the other thing that I always find hilarious. You can put chickens into the middle of bamboo, but they can't path out of it. I know squirrel... I was about to say, I know squirrel biology. But that's a phrase that could get me into trouble. Chickens be bamboozled. I think it's because the game is reading the bamboo as a block, and so there's no valid path. I think, but I'm probably very wrong. I mean, me attempting to think is a bad idea at the best of times. Dense bamboo is a fnurble to walk through. Yes, that I would agree with. So much so that I think the chickens have just given up and not... are just going, yeah, I'm not even attempting to try and walk through this, dude. And Feg caught the Smeagol. My precious. Oh no, that's a different Smeagol. That's Smeagol, not Smeagol. Does that make you the One Ring? I'm not sure how to respond to that. Error 404. No response found. Error. No inventory space found. That's the other thing I need to do. And I know I said it yesterday. You often make people feel invisible. Wow. I need to sort out... do we have to call you Precious? Quote 412. I haven't worked out how to turn on a light bulb by sucking on it. Hey, Shadow Sky. Lapis, copper, coal. Nope. Andesite is over here. Sand is over here as well. Might as well put that in there. I don't know why I'm carrying stone brick stairs. You like to think you empower people according to their stature. Aha. Boop. I'm liking the feel for the shape of this cave already. I think once we've gotten down... So I'm thinking we'll keep the ramp coming down here until we reach about this point, which probably means we're going 1, maybe 2 more blocks down. Maybe 3. And then all of this space, all the way around here and underneath here, can be the terracing that you see in the lush cave, with all of the ponds and the clay pits and so forth, and that should give us a really nice design for this area. That's gonna have to go. Probably do is sort out the walls so that there's less dirt and more tough stone and so forth, to make it feel more cave-like. I think if I am going to take a lush cave and rip it to shreds for the clay, I would like to preferably rip one to shreds that's not nearby. Just for sheer... Actually, I don't know. I could just go dig down and steal one from locally. Part of me was thinking it might be nice to avoid destroying too much within the world border. That's why the trial chamber that I have used for copper is outside the world border, on the grounds that if I actually do want to, I can completely reset it. Makes me wonder if there's a lush cave near to that. If there is, that might be a good way to get all the clay. Fly out to where that trial chamber is and see if there's a lush cave next to it. Grab some mycelium while I'm at it. That's a point, because the look after yourself, True Purple. The Mushroom Island is outside the world border as well and is on the way. I think we've only got 2 Mushroom Islands in this world. I just had a thought. and it was painful. Ancient things. Would mushrooms be considered ancient things, perhaps? Should we be adding mushrooms to Jurassic World? Yes. Fungi are ancient. Yeah, that's the thought that's just crossed my mind. So, one of the other areas, possibly off towards the... I'll need a brown one too. That's easy, just get it struck by lightning. Easy, he says. Yes. In an area with so many, And we're off on a British expedition. Yes, we're going to steal everything we find. So that feels like next week we are going on a raiding party. Stealing anything and everything that is nailed down. Explorers Guilds, unite! You have nothing to fear except for nicking everything that's not nailed down. Is it nailed down? Yes, right. Go full British Empire on it. Sir Walter Scotsman. Starts nailing the scope creepers to the floor. Look, the scope creepers exist no matter what we do. Can't seem to get rid of them. And I don't think this is scope creep. It feels like it's the natural completion. I mean, I still have no idea where I'm going to get a husk camel from. Because I think the only area that I have of desert is way off outside the world border to the north. Oh look, we're going raiding to the north, to the south, to the east. And in all cases, beyond the world border. Not because these things didn't exist, but because for some stupid reason I picked to expand the world border, and then it'll just be yeah, I don't actually have to I don't have to expand the world border. The world border doesn't physically exist. It's just a concept that I have for this is as far as I should go. The worst bit is going to be, how do we transport all of these things back? And in some cases, how do we get them? Because the... Like, remove the chunk information once you're done. Oh yeah, I've done chunk cleansing before. Oh, that's the end of that inventory. It's full again. Mostly I only do that for the world downloads, Raven. I don't think I've actually shrunk the world for the last 3 years. Surprisingly. Mostly because we keep stealing stuff from outside the world border. Granite, granite. Andesite. Thought I did it once. I did it once, but about 2.5 years ago, when just before we went looking for trial chambers. Next week, join Captain James Scotsman on the good ship Booby Prize on a 3-day mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly fnurble where no Scotsman has fnurbled before. Boop. Beep boop. Boop, bitty boop, bitty boop, 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 bitty boop, bitty bitty boop, 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 boop. Miss Ferret, welcome in. If only Happy Ghasts were faster. I was thinking hanging everything that I want to collect from a Happy Ghast and bringing it back might be a good way of doing it. Of course, the only way of doing that sensibly would be to attach the Happy Ghast to a lead and just lead it. Rather than turn a 3-day into a 5-year mission. Yeah. Now, I could always find one of my horses and just ride like the wind. Ride like the wind. I think Atlas is fairly good for speed. On an event hardcore server, you went out on a Happy Ghast in the end to rescue a Happy Ghast 3,000 blocks out and bring it back to Spawn Island. You succeeded. It was painfully slow. Yep. Why on earth was there a Happy Ghast 3,000 blocks out in the end? How did that end up out there? That feels like there's a tail to that. Can a horse pull a boat? I think so. Flew away from the... Oh. Because people were doing elytra looting and flew away from the Ghast when they got the elytra. Oh. Poor Ghast. I think once we've got lots of foliage around the edge of this pit and dangling down into it, and we've got this deep enough to actually feel like a lush cave, I think it will actually be quite good. Worth a rescue though. Sadly, you cannot bring a Ghast home to the overworld as soon as it's grown in the end. Oh, it's too big to fit through the portal, isn't it? Poor Ghast. That's like me building a portal that was large enough to get a Ghast in and out of the end successfully for the can if you remove the bedrock. Well, yes, but then you're left with a giant hole where your bedrock used to be. That was how we ended up with Cherry Picker. Oh, and this is a rare Pokemon in chat. Oh, it's the Iron Treads. That's one of the ones that I needed. Did I catch it? Yes. That Iron Treads hasn't been seen for 4 months. Revamped our entire end island last season on the server, removed all the portal bedrock, left us with floating gateways which we made floating island towers around. Ooh, nice. I hadn't spotted that it was an Iron Treads. Thank you, Frauke. Okay, this is starting to feel pretty dang cool. Add another couple of layers down on this, and it's going to start feeling like an actual cavern. With new bedrock removal system, it's easier now to... Yeah, So I have never been... I have never been onto the nether roof in this world. I have never broken bedrock. I'm pondering that at some point it might be interesting to do both. It is, however, quite 200 o'clock. Goodness. But we've done a fantastic amount this stream. We've got the beginnings of the biodome. Hi, Bee. And the beginnings of the lush cave to go underneath it. And I think I like the concept. We're lucky we're around on the roof. We're not, we were not doing the first season. Yeah, I can understand that. This is going to feel like it's going to be quite fun, I think, as a new biome added to this region. And hey, I think we can keep the bees up on the surface. What I am going to do is spend a bit of time over the weekend. Could set yourself a Scott's Advancements week, not builds that achieving all the things you want to do, break bedrock, nether the roof, etc. Yeah, could do. Heil Hydrate. Do I look like Zed though? I don't have a sheep looking at me. I did look thirsty though, apparently. Who knows? We've only seen my hands. Yep, that's true. Whee. Oh, and to go with the hydrate, the required stretch. Thank you, Raven. I forgot I did the Hermitcraft TCG unboxing, and that was the only time that I've actually had a camera on this account. Or on stream, rather. Oh yeah, there's a reason you can hear the cracks. I am very, very, very creaky boned. Except for the 3 AM ones, but we don't speak of those here. Uh-huh. More andesite, more granite. Oh, hold on. That's... No, it's... Where the heck's... Oh, that's sandstone. This one had the sand, and this one had the dirt. Right, I'm going to go and stand... or go and hide in the airship. Because that feels like a good place to end the week. Or at least the end of the week of the Madness server. Back to the airship. Mm-hmm. My word, we found a filter that Feg has. Oh, that's going to look really cool. If I can come up with a design that feels complementary to that, I think this is going to look really good. Initially, I was thinking this might be too close. Actually, this is only axolotls. I don't need a dome. Do I? Do I really need a dome for axolotls? Or could we just do a circular enclosure? It's not like they're going to fly away. Just circle should work. Yeah. I might just put in another another sort of secure enclosure concept in, similar to what we've done for the sniffer pen, which I think still needs more decorating at that end. However, let's have a look at what this looks like in Pretties mode. Ooh. I think that's going to look really cool once we've got the biodome into it. Or the biome into it. We can put bamboo around the top, make it sort of go for the ancient sort of feel. And then we can probably bring some of the bamboo further along here, and then have maybe. Hey, Nookie, you've caught us just as at the right. It's an axolotl cenote. Cenote? I feel like I'm missing a. I'm reading that wrong. Oh wow, that's a view. It is, Nookie. It is. You've caught us just as I'm starting the pretties mode and pondering wrapping up. But you've arrived just in time to see it in pretties mode. This place is just lovely. And now that we've got the road in and the secret tunnel, I love this tunnel leading into the back of the building. Have a good meeting, Raven. Ooh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't checked on Fnurbles. Fnurbles has a flower! Fnurbles has a flower! Cenote are giant lush sinkholes in Central and South America. Yes. Iron golems will interact with copper golems, and on a very, very rare occasion, will put a flower on its head. This is why we gave Fnurbles a roommate. It's supposed to be a very rare interaction, but if you trap the two of them in the same room, they basically will. That is adorable. And Nookie, thank you for 5 months of subscription with Prime. My word, thank you for that. If the copper golem becomes a statue, they lose the flower. So you can only keep them with a flower on if they're active and alive. And there we are. Fnurbles finds a way. So once you... Yes. I mean, Fnurbles has been waxed already. Fnurbles I was not going to let age out and die. So Fnurbles has been waxed for a very long time. But yes. Does pre-waxing help with the flowering? Probably not. It's the interactions with the iron golem that does it. Fatty McDaddy Og, welcome in. I'm sorry, but you've arrived just as I'm about to wrap up, though. But thank you for joining us. And Ritsu, thank you for joining the scurry just at the end there as well. Thank you to everyone for joining me this evening. I don't know, Ritsu. But you've managed it. That's the important bit. Thank you to everyone for joining me this evening. It has been absolutely lovely having you here. We have made a lot of progress with thinking. Guessing it's just some kind of protection. Don't want it to prematurely weather after all. Yes, exactly. Oh my. It has been a lovely evening today. I think we've made some fantastic progress. And it has been lovely having you all here. Let's see. I will be back again tomorrow at my usual time of 2.5 hours previously to now, where we will be back on the idiotic server. Which you just know means that we're going to have mayhem, chaos, and all sorts of fun. Let's see. And Gabezilla, and Genfire, and... quite a few people. Hey Ginger, welcome in. You can vote sausage, Black Lad, but no. What I might do, I don't think we've gone to... We're spoiled for choice. Yes, we are. I raided Gabezilla 2 days ago. When was the last time I raided Gutty? Because I don't... Oh, 7 days ago. We raid Gutty quite regularly. Soup was 6 days ago. Calvin. When was the last time we raided Calvin? 16 days. And they're working with Gutty on the Halo Mega Project. That, I think, is always a fun one. Calvin raided me recently. Yes. Really? A hype train just as I'm about to raid out? Twitch. Well, that hype train is definitely getting derailed. Yeah, let's go and see Calvin, and see the work on the Halo Mega Project along with Gutty. And Mad, welcome in. Welcome in. Yes. Thank you for that gift sub that's gone to Unchecked Door. Welcome in. And thank you so much for that gift sub. Alright. Where's Calvin? Calvin! No, that's Soup. Who is fantastic, and I don't want... I would love to sneak up behind Soup. Couldn't pass it up. Very much appreciated. However... I honestly need to stop at this point. So, I am going to raid out to Calvin, who is absolutely amazing, and one of the fantastic builders, and who was on Build for Better this week, who absolutely knocked it out of the park. I will be back again tomorrow at my usual time, 2.5 hours previously to now, where, as I said, we will be back on Idiotic. Welcome for all the chaos. I hope everyone has a good time zone. I hope everyone has a fantastic evening, and I will hopefully see you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
There's a place I can trace every line of me. I can taste every inch of the space I step into. Am I free?